Hello, everyone. This is Hala.
And this is Sabrina, and we are your hosts on East Intersection.
Exactly. So, this is a little bit about, where we see our cultures intersecting. That's where we got the East intersection from. We're both from East Africa. Me specifically, I'm from Harar.
And I'm from Somalia.
Yep. And Harar is like kind of located like in the east of Ethiopia, so I guess you could really like emphasize on the east. How about you? Where's Somalia? I mean, I know where it is, but let's see our viewers if they know where it is.
Somalia is actually located in the Horn of Africa.
Exactly.
If you look at the map, kind of looks like a high heel.
You're right. So I'm from Harar. She's from Somalia. And we just want to kind of do this podcast. Well, it was for a class, but we do want to speak about something that we're very interested in. And, that's our culture. People usually often know about Somalia, I believe, when they think about East Africa. Yeah, 100%. Though secondly, they would guess Ethiopia, but her specifically, I don't think people really know about it since it's a minority.
Yeah.
And I think we can see where we connect, where we intersect, if that makes sense.
Yeah, of course. So we're just going to take you along during this mini series on our backgrounds and how it affected decisions in our life.
Exactly. So tell me a little bit about Somali culture.
Just to keep it brief, because I think we're going to get better into it later on in the episodes. Somali culture is just all about community. It's very close-knit, and it's all about keeping an eye out for each other, mostly.
For sure.
A lot of gatherings.
Yeah.
And stuff within the community.
You're right. I would say Harari culture is the same. People like your business essentially is everyone's business.
Of course.
I guess that's what makes us close in a way.
I think that's a commonality amongst all of East Africa, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe beyond East Africa too. Who knows? Let us know in the comments, guys. Yeah, so Harari culture, I mean, I would say like what it's known for a lot is I would say its language, its people, and its the religion. So if not all of Harar, they're founded by Islam, if that makes sense. So Islam, the religion, has a big factor on it. That's where like our forefathers and everything. That's what makes our culture, if that makes sense. I mean, it's also a thing about keeping the culture. Because we're a minority, we try to, stick together and try to like educate others about our culture, try to preserve it. But we're actually a very mixed, very mixed culture. I think that's why we're not as known. Like for instance, we have Somali in us, some of us. That's why I think we could like connect,
Okay.
We have Somali, we have Yemeni, we have Turkish, we have India, like Indian, or
You guys are really mixed.
Yeah, exactly. So like that's why we're known like as Harari people. Like
Okay.
right. How about Somali? Would you guys say you guys are kind of mixed?
Somali people, yeah. I think the mixing came from the colonizations, but it's not hard to find people that are purely Somali.
Yeah.
But it's more common to find someone mixed with maybe Arab or, Italian.
Yeah, the way you said Arab. We know for sure. I mean, I feel like it's seen a lot in your language, right? Like the Arab language.
Yeah, also because Somalia is really deeply rooted within Islam and its rulings. So
we already have that connection.
Yeah, I think that's a commonality as well.
Yeah, for sure. Do you see yourself like essentially like how for us, for example, Harari culture, we try to preserve it. Do you guys see that with Somali culture or
with Somali culture, it's more so evolving rather than preserving, because you're going to see people that hold tight to the tradition, hold tight to all the things they used to do back in the day, and you see people now taking on a new like innovated version of whatever they're doing,
right? Trying to get to its origins, right? Like
yeah,
for sure. How about your parents? Are they both from the same city?
My
Like,
parents are both from, yeah, they're both from the same city. They're both from Mogadishu, the capital of Somalia.
okay, okay. It's like, is there like a difference between the cities, different dialects, different
Yeah, actually,
food, maybe?
based on what region you're from, you're probably gonna have a different dialect and a way of
Mm.
speaking.
Mhm.
So if you're from Somaliland,
Mhm.
you're probably gonna speak in a more like, your tone is gonna be a bit more, not to say aggressive, but for me, listening to someone
Firm,
speak,
kind of.
yeah, it's
Mhm.
really firm and they speak super fast.
Mhm.
So it's kind of hard to understand when they're speaking. So when someone comes up to me and they're speaking Somali and they're from Somaliland,
Yeah.
I just gotta sit there and like digest what they're trying to say because I really do not understand half of the things. And they have some different words as well.
Mhm.
Yeah, so it's really hard.
Okay, okay. I mean, Harari culture, like we just have one language. We don't have
Mm.
dialects. But I see nowadays that people mix the Harari language with other Ethiopian like
Oh,
languages,
okay,
like the
okay.
national language, for example,
Amharic?
Amharic. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
So like, like I see it so often. We get into that later, actually. Maybe in episode 2 where we talk a little bit more about our origin.
Make sure to stay tuned, guys.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. But yeah, so do you see it like do you see like your culture affecting any life decisions that you've made?
Um, Generally, yeah.
Mhm.
So I often have to think like second guess what I'm about to do because I'm
Mhm.
not only making the decision for me, but I'm making the decision with my family's name behind
Right,
what
right.
I'm about to do.
That's what it is. It's kind of reputation, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It does play a strong what's the word I'm looking for? A strong role on
Mhm.
your culture. For me, definitely, I would say reputation. Reputation does play a big role. People often they do expect things from you. Like the culture. Like, I mean, for instance, for school, I'm doing French studies. Our what we often what we hear from people is, aren't you gonna be a doctor? Aren't you gonna be an
Yeah.
engineer?
Of
Aren't
course,
you
of course.
gonna do anything like that? And I mean, they were surprised with the French studies, but I think they kind of accepted it now.
Mhm.
I guess because it's different, they want to know more, they want to learn more,
Yeah.
and I feel like that's important. To like teach your people, your community something different.
Of course,
So.
of course. I'm a bit more simple. I when I was applying for university, I actually was about to go into respiratory therapy.
Mm.
My mom was excited about that. She's like, "Oh my god, doctor adjacent." But yeah, I ended up doing teaching. I also had nursing on the list,
Oh,
surprisingly,
wow,
but that
wow,
wasn't
wow.
me. It was more of just like everybody saying, "Oh, become a doctor, do this,"
Mm.
and I'm like, you know what? It's like they instill the thought in your mind so much that you think it's your own want,
Yeah, yeah,
and then
exactly.
you realize like I don't want to do this.
Right.
So teaching, I don't necessarily 100% want to do it,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm content. Like,
Content to do it,
yeah.
right? And then, at the end of the day, it is our choice. You know what I mean? I
Mm.
mean, even though like the community will look at you and be like, "Are you sure you want to do that? Are you gonna get a job out of that?"
Is it really your choice though?
I know.
That's the real question.
That's true. That's true. I guess we can get into that a little bit, a little bit more later on. But yeah, I mean, this is something that we wanted to talk about because people don't talk about it often.
Mhm.
I mean, you'd see some podcasts actually talk about it, like people. It's very little though. It's
Mhm.
not many people who talk about it, and so we want to essentially, talk about
Yeah,
our
just
issues
give you
and.
guys something to look back on. Hopefully, give you guys some inspiration if someone's going through the same stuff as us.
Mhm.
You know, let you guys know you're not just in a box.
Right.
You can explore. You don't always have to succumb to pressure.
For sure. For sure. Well, I think that's it for episode 1. Honestly,
Yeah.
we wanted to keep it short, just introduce ourselves a little bit, get to know us a little bit, getting acquainted. But yeah, so hopefully we will get some comments. If you guys have any suggestions or anything of that sort, leave it in the comments. You can also find us on Instagram at East Intersection. Make sure to follow and stay connected with us.
Yeah, guys, if you have any concerns or feedback, just let us know, and we'll see you in episode 2.
Bye.